Hello guys, LifeHackster here. Today, let's talk about junction boxes for security cameras and why you might need them. And in this video, we'll focus on Reolink cameras and the two junction boxes that they are offering. Most other major brands also sell specific junction boxes for their cameras, or there are also generic ones that you can get from Amazon. And I'll probably make a separate video for this if you are all interested, so comment down below. Wired Reolink cameras, especially their IP, PoE, and VR ones, and also most of their Wi-Fi plug-in ones have these type of connectors, an Ethernet connection and another one for power, which is 12 volts DC. By the way, these type of wiring are kind of standardized, and you will see this also with other brands, not just Reolink, especially with companies that have wired NVR systems. On either setups, you will have this wire harness, which is not easy to hide. Now, for a one-story house, more than likely, you'll be routing your wiring under the eaves. And it is easy to make a hole, which is 3/4 of an inch minimum, to clear the Ethernet port part of the wiring, so that you can just push all the wiring into your ceiling area, and it will be a clean and no wire showing, which is the ideal setup. But there are other situations, like if you have a 2-story house and no attic access, or you're planning to drill a hole through concrete, brick, or even just regular siding. 3/4 of an inch is a big hole to make. The standard practice is just drill a hole just small enough for your Ethernet cable or your 12-volt wiring to pass through. Also, if the only place where you can drill a hole is not where you want your cameras installed, and that you have to deal with wiring raceways or conduits, then this is where junction boxes come into play. It is a place to connect, hide, and secure your wiring. With Reolink, they have two models. One is a bigger one, the D20, mostly for their dome cameras, and the B10 for their bullet type cams. Now, not all of their cameras will be compatible. They do come with a list of cameras that you can use it with, and here are the snapshots, and feel free to pause this video so that you can see if the Reolink cameras that you have are compatible. Now, I'm mostly interested to check and see because the bigger D20 is not just compatible with their dome cameras, but also with their 823 series, their bigger PTZ cameras, and also their smaller E1 outdoor ones. And the smaller Box B10 is also compatible with the dual cams and also the 81PA, with some caveats though, which I'll tell you later on. So this is the D20, and it is all metal, and you have labeled mounting screw holes, and on the side we have access holes, 2 of them, to fit 1/2 inch conduits, and it also has some rubber foam on the back. All metal build, and I'll show you what is this used for later on. And here is the guide on which Reolink camera models will work with this junction box. You will get some mounting screws and also machine screws to mount the cameras. There's a total of 4 access holes, one on the cover, and this is a 1 1/8 inch hole with a rubber grommet for weatherproofing. If you unscrew the cover, you will see another access hole on the back. And we have 2 here on the sides. One of them will have this weatherproof gland where you can push in a Cat6 cable and tighten this like so, and it will be weather sealed. Just note that using a thinner Cat5e cable though is not going to get a good seal. Now, with Reolink's dome or bullet cameras, the orientation of the junction box doesn't matter because you can still adjust where you want to point the camera. But with the other Reolink camera models, there is a specific way you want to position the junction box. On the bigger D20, this position right here where the cover and the markings are right side up or even upside down, the access holes are in the right position for vertical or horizontal conduit installation. With this position, you can install Reolink's 823A series cameras. Put in the cover with the rubber grommet off, connect the Ethernet cable to the camera, and push in the camera's wire harness inside the junction box. Insert the grommet using the slit on it and push it into the cover for weather sealing. Then align the 823A to the allotted holes, which are the D holes. Then using the included longer machine screws, screw in the 823A to the junction box. And this is what it looks like. A clean and professional looking install. Alright, if you have the smaller outdoor series cameras with this plastic mount like the E1 outdoor PoE that I'll demo here, screw in the mount using 2 of the C holes. Connect the wiring and tuck it in inside the junction box. Then use the rubber grommet and push it into the hole for weather sealing. And push and turn the E1 outdoor to the mount and this is what it looks like. Now for the smaller B10 box, you can easily wire and screw in any compatible Reolink bullet type camera like the CX410W here. Clean looking install. But this junction box is also compatible with the 81PA and the dual cams. For the 81PA, it will only screw in a specific way because its screw holes are narrower on the bottom. And it uses the D holes, but you can only screw it in where the D2 is on top and on the left side, which means the junction box needs to be turned and installed where the access holes on the side are in an angle. So if you use any rigid conduit like PVC or EMT, then it will not work. So you will most likely need a flexible conduit to do this install. But this is what it looks like with the 81PA installed. Same thing with the dual cams, which the mount uses 2 of the C holes, and you need to turn the junction box so that the access holes are on an angle. So something to think and plan about if you're going to use conduit and the side holes of the junction box. Also, don't screw in the bracket yet, but push the wiring through it first, then plug in the camera and tuck in the wiring and the grommet before screwing in the bracket, and then hook in the camera to the bracket. Anyways, this is what the Duo series, and this is the Duo 3 in this demo, installed in Reolink's B10 junction box. Well, hoping this video is helpful to those that have Reolink cameras and wanting to use a junction box to hide the wiring for a clean and professional looking install. Anyways, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching.